So if you missed yesterday's afternoon session, I did post what we did on Schoology for Science. It was posted yesterday on Schoology. All right, bear with me, and I'll share my screen in just a moment. Before we go to page 54, I just want to show you the page that we did yesterday. I'm going to share my screen. These are all the questions, and this is posted to Schoology. How does Earth's water move in a cycle? What is the importance of the water cycle? How are evaporation and condensation related? What is sublimation? What is transpiration? What affects the processes of the water cycle? How do you think the water cycle would change if the atmosphere was the same temperature as the ground? And then number 8, if you know the water vapor condenses as it moves up in the atmosphere, what does that tell you about conditions higher up in the atmosphere? So we need to put that answer down. As you move up in the atmosphere, it gets colder. This is the reason water vapor condenses and forms clouds as it moves up. All right. I'm going to post this again today in Schoology so that you all have it. All right, that's been posted. Let's go back to our book. Again, we're on page 54. Page 54. And here we go. Everybody ready?
Energy and the water cycle. The sun provides the energy that makes the water cycle work. The sun's heat causes frozen water to melt and surface water to evaporate. Heat also causes winds to blow, and the wind moves clouds. Water in clouds falls as precipitation, which is water that falls as rain, snow, sleet, or hail. And the cycle continues. This cycle has been happening as long as Earth has had water, soon after its formation. The water that dinosaurs drank has been recycled millions of times through the processes of evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. Quest connection. How could you use the processes of the water cycle to make drinkable water? Literacy toolbox. Draw conclusions. When you draw conclusions, you examine facts to figure out what they mean. Use the information from this lesson to draw a conclusion about where the water you drink today will be in 100 years.
All right, let's do the quest connection. How could you use the processes of the water cycle to make drinkable water? Well, what you could do is heat dirty water and collect the water vapor that forms. You could collect the water vapor that forms after heating the dirty water. Remember the ocean is an important part too of the water cycle. Remember that most of Earth's water is found in the oceans, and most of Earth's evaporation occurs from the oceans. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? All right, let's move on to the lesson check.
Lesson check. 1. Explain phenomena. Tran is conducting an investigation about weather. He uses a rain gauge to collect precipitation. On Monday, the gauge collects 15 millimeters of rain. He fails to record data the next few days. On Friday, he remembers, but the gauge now contains 12 millimeters of rain. Explain how his results relate to the water cycle. 2. Recall. How is the ocean connected to the water cycle?
All right, so for number 1, if you don't have this written down already, please write it down now. Precipitation produced the rain in the gauge. Evaporation reduced the amount of rain in the gauge. So the precipitation produced the rain initially in the gauge, right? But then the evaporation reduced the amount that was there. Number 2, how is the ocean connected to the water cycle? Water from the ocean evaporates and forms clouds. Clouds are blown by the wind to other places where the water returns back to Earth's surface as precipitation. It could be in the form of rain, sleet, hail, or snow. Precipitation falls in the form of either rain, sleet, hail, or snow. Are there any questions? I'm going to move on to Earth's fresh water. I'm going to stop sharing this screen so I can bring up the next screen for us. First, I'm going to show a quick video of the water cycle. Right, everybody ready? Here we go.
Here it is, the good old water cycle you know so well. But wait, it's time we take you behind the scenes of the water cycle. Oh, of course there is evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. Driven by the sun, water evaporates into water vapor, rises, cools, and condenses into liquid water droplets, forming clouds. When water falls from the clouds as rain, snow, sleet, and hail, that's precipitation. But let's take a look closer into what I like to call the hidden parts of the water cycle. We know evaporation is when water changes from liquid to water vapor. Now let's look at a similar process called sublimation. Let's head to some ice and snow. In context of the water cycle, sublimation describes the change of solid snow or ice directly into water vapor, without melting first into a liquid phase. It's hard to see it happen, but chances are you have already seen sublimation take place. Have you ever seen dry ice? You know, that cool but creepy, foggy stuff some people use to decorate their haunted house? Dry ice is a great visual for this because you can actually see solid carbon dioxide sublimate or turn into gas without melting. That stuff that looks like steam or fog is carbon dioxide gas and cold, humid air. How neat is that? Now let's look at another invisible process in the water cycle. This one is called transpiration. In this process, moisture travels through plants from the roots to the underside of leaves, where it's released as water vapor. An easy way to think of transpiration is like it's evaporation from plants. And though you can't see it happening, approximately 10% of the moisture in the atmosphere gets there through transpiration. Fun fact, a tree like this can transpire over 40,000 gallons of water per year. Oh, wow. Now, let's get down to it. Literally, down below your feet. You might think water seeps into the ground and can only stay in one place, but there is much more to the story. Depending on the geology of an area, water underground could stay close to the surface and resurface just days later in a stream bed or spring. If it infiltrates deeper, it could take years to travel back to the surface. And if it seeps down even deeper, it may be confined in an aquifer and take hundreds and even thousands of years to return to the surface. Whoa, precipitation can take quite a journey. One thing is for sure, the water cycle is non-stop. It is always in action in ways we can see and in other ways we can't. Above our heads, through plants, and even right below our feet.
All right. Excellent. Are there any questions? All right. We'll move on to the next lesson then on page 58, Earth's fresh water. And I'll share my screen with you. All right, here we go.
Lesson 2, Earth's fresh water. I can identify that most of Earth's fresh water is in glaciers, in ice caps, or underground. Explain that some fresh water is found in lakes, rivers, wetlands, and the atmosphere. Literacy skill. Draw conclusions. Vocabulary. Glacier, aquifer, reservoir. Academic vocabulary. Distribute. Local to global connection. In the 1800s, Chicago's wastewater flowed through the Chicago River into Lake Michigan, which was the source of Chicago's drinking water. Over time, the river and the lake became polluted. To solve the problem, a canal called the Chicago Sanitary and Ship Canal opened in 1900. It changed the flow of the Chicago River so that it carried water away from Lake Michigan. Instead, the water flowed to the Mississippi River. Chicago's problem was solved, but a new one developed. Today, invasive species, such as Asian carp, can be found in Lake Michigan. Some carp access Lake Michigan by swimming up the Mississippi River. The carp threaten the lake's fishing industry. People are now evaluating whether to close the canal. Reading check. Draw conclusions. Why was it a problem that the Chicago River flowed into Lake Michigan?
All right, if you don't already have it written down, please write it down now. It was a problem because the people were polluting their drinking water. It was a problem because the people were polluting their drinking water. Let me show another video real quick before we move on. All right, here we go.
Whoa! Did you see that great blue heron spear that fish? Would you say the heron got its meal from the land or in the water? Well, it's both. The heron was in a wetland. Wetlands are areas covered or saturated by water all year or during parts of the year. And that heron was waiting in a shallow spot to snag a meal. Wetlands include marshes, swamps, fens, and bogs. All very cool ecosystems, teeming with life. Wetlands may be large or very small, and it turns out they are extremely important to all of us. Why, you ask? Let's start with a big surprise. Wetlands hold more water than rivers. What? It's not as much as lakes, but think of that in context of the water cycle. Wetlands are like the unsung heroes of the water cycle. They hold a lot of water, but people might not even remember them when they are thinking about the water cycle. Here are some other very cool things wetlands do for the environment. During times of flooding, wetlands absorb and slow floodwaters, protecting the surrounding area from possible damage or danger. They are, of course, a habitat for thousands of species of plants and animals. A few easily come to mind, like lily pads, frogs, alligators, and small fish. And migratory birds like herons, ibis, and ducks need wetlands to rest, feed, and nest. And wetlands are super important as a watershed filter for clean water. How can wetlands filter water? Because they can absorb many pollutants and debris before they ever reach other bodies of water. But sadly, these areas are under threat, and losing this habitat can have consequences. So, next time you see a wetland, you'll know many ways it makes our world a better, healthier place.
And that's the truth. So how is fresh water distributed anyway? How is fresh water distributed anyway? We're going to take a look at that on page 60 of your textbooks, please. If you would turn to page 60 in your textbooks now, please, and thank you. And I'll share my screen with you. All right. How is fresh water distributed across Earth? Nearly 3/4 of Earth is covered by water. Only a very small amount of that water is fresh water. How is water distributed over Earth? Water that is saline, that's salt, has large amounts of dissolved salts. The Mediterranean Sea is an example of a body of water that is made of saline water. Look at the percentage of ocean water on the Earth, ladies and gentlemen. 96.5% of the water on the Earth's surface is ocean water. Remember, that's not fresh water. We're not able to drink that kind of water, okay? Of course, we do have fresh water. A glacier is a slowly moving body of ice on land. So we have glaciers and ice caps, surface and other fresh water, groundwater, right? So what are some freshwater sources? Ground ice, rivers, lakes, and the atmosphere, of course. What are the 4 largest sources of fresh water on Earth? The glaciers and ice caps, groundwater, ground ice and permafrost, and lakes. What percentage do the oceans make up water on Earth? Oceans make up 96.5%. If you don't have this information right now in your textbooks, please write it down. I will give you a couple of minutes. All right, I have 3 questions up on the board that we need to answer before we move on to our social studies. So question number 1, which types of surface water would be best for drinking? The answer is lakes or rivers would require the least filtration system for drinking. Lakes or rivers would require the least filtration for drinking, so that would be the best. The 4 largest sources of fresh water on Earth they are glaciers and ice caps, groundwater, ground ice and permafrost, and finally, lakes. Glaciers and ice caps, that's the first source. Then groundwater is the next source. Ground ice and permafrost is the third source. And lakes is the fourth. And number 3, how can you convince someone that most of the evaporation of the water cycle occurs from the oceans? Well, very simply, the oceans, ladies and gentlemen, make up 96.5% of all water on Earth. So a lot of evaporation must happen here. Are there any questions? Any questions? All right, we're going to switch gears now. We're going to go into social studies, and we're going to look at the next 10 questions. The next 10 questions for our study guide for social studies. Excuse me. All right. Let me stop sharing the screen so I can bring up our social studies study guide. All right. We're going to continue with our social studies study guide for our world geography test. We're on question 11. Why do some people oppose the idea of harnessing the power of the Gulf Stream with turbines? And the answer is because climate change could slow or even stop the Gulf Stream. Why do some people oppose the idea of harnessing the power of the Gulf Stream with turbines? Because climate change could slow or even stop the Gulf Stream. All right, next question. What is the Gulf Stream? It is a warm ocean current moving from the Caribbean and passing the East Coast and to Northern Europe. It is a warm ocean current moving from the Caribbean, then passing the East Coast and to Northern Europe. That is the Gulf Stream. What is a simple description of how the Gulf Stream forms? What is a simple description of how the Gulf Stream forms? A current from Africa hits South America, heads upwards through the Caribbean, collides with Florida, and gets pushed along the East Coast. And that's what they look at too when they're talking about hurricanes, ladies and gentlemen. They look at the Gulf Stream. A current from Africa hits South America, heads upwards through the Caribbean. Collides with Florida and gets pushed along the East Coast. Are there any questions? Numbers 11, 12, or 13. Does anybody have any questions? So far, so good. All right, we'll continue. Although the width varies, depending on location and time of year, although the width varies depending on location and time of year, on average, how many miles wide is the Gulf Stream? "60 miles wide" is the answer. Any questions? All right, let's take a look at map projections. Which map projection creates parallel lines of latitude and longitude? Was it mnemonic, Mercator, or conic? Anybody remember? The answer is Mercator. Remember, the invisible line of latitude that's above the equator is the Tropic of Cancer. And the invisible line of latitude that's below the equator is the Tropic of Capricorn. The one above is Tropic of Cancer. The one below is Tropic of Capricorn. Latitude is horizontal. Longitude is vertical. Which type of projection projects points from a globe onto a piece of paper that touches the globe at a single point? The answer is mnemonic. Any questions? Very quiet today. A map maker. Map maker is also referred to as a what? A cartographer. Map maker is also known as a cartographer, ladies and gentlemen. Which map projection makes it possible to label exact points on the globe, making it excellent for navigation? Which projection makes it possible to label exact points on the globe, making it excellent for navigation? Mercator is your answer. Any questions? I know this is quite a bit of information, ladies and gentlemen, but you'll need all this for your test on Thursday. In Jules Verne's Around the World in 80 Days, and you see I have italicized the title of the book, Around the World in 80 Days. The main character, Betsy, can travel around the globe in 80 days. When he finishes his journey, though, he thinks he didn't quite make it. However, he later discovers that he gained the day and made it on time. Why didn't he realize this? Yes, this is all one question. This is all one question. The answer is the international dateline had not been established yet. So nothing would remind him to change the date in his journal. The answer is the international dateline had not been established yet. So nothing would remind him to change the date in his journal. Go ahead, Haley, honey. What's your question, please?
Can you go up a bit so I can take a picture of these?
Sure can. What number do you want me to go up to, honey? Do you know? Like where I started?
Like,
or?
yeah, where you started,
Okay.
back at number 11.
All right. There you go. Starting with number 11.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We have one more question for today. One more question for today. The Earth is roughly a sphere. Because of its shape, the Earth is divided into how many equal slices equal to the number of degrees in a circle. And the answer is 360. Are there any questions? Tomorrow, we'll review 10 more questions, and that will complete the study guide for your exam on Thursday, because there will be 30 questions on that test. Are there any questions? All right. Why don't we take a break? Let's do a science skim kit. Have a little fun since you guys did FSA today and everything, and we did quite a bit of science and social studies today. Why don't we take a break and do some science review, because you have your science FCAT next week, and we'll do it on GimKit. Does that sound good? All right. Let me get my GimKit up. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. All right, yesterday we did FCAT science review. We'll do the human body today. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Our game code is 910337. 910337. God bless you, Latte. God bless you, Latte. All right, where is everybody? I'm missing Andrew. I'm missing Hayden. I'm missing Nathan. All right, there's Andrew. I've got Andrew, Destiny, Haley, me, and Zane. I'm missing Hayden and Nathan. Where are you guys? I'm gonna unmute everybody so that we can chat. There's Hayden. There's Nathan. All right, the chat is also open. And I would just put on allowed you to unmute yourself. So you can do that now so you can talk freely. Okay. And I'm going to start the game because everybody's here. Ready? And here we go. I'm a crewmate again. Darn it. Hayden is clear.
Miss Madden, you are inconclusive.
You should investigate me again because I'm a crewmate, honey. Somebody else investigate me, please. I already investigated you, Hayden. You're clear.
Miss Madden is clear.
You. Zane just came back inconclusive. Someone needs to run another investigation, please, for Zane. Haley is clear. Someone who we have not investigated yet, please. Investigated Nathan or Destiny. Andrew is inconclusive as well. So now it's between Nathan and Andrew. Zane, honey, if you would, try to investigate Nathan and Andrew, because you're wasting your investigations on me because I'm just a crewmate, honey. We need to narrow it down between Nathan and Andrew before I call a meeting. All right, Andrew just came back inconclusive again. That's twice now for Andrew.
Andrew, this came from me, inconclusive.
All right, I'm calling the meeting then. We're gonna vote on Andrew. Come on, everybody vote, let's go. Come on, guys, let's go. Get your votes in. I did. Our research was saved. Out of way, crewmates. All right, you guys want to play one more time? All right, one more time. Here we go. Hang on. We don't have enough people for 2 imposters. Yeah, I can make it only 2 investigations, yes. If it lets me. Oh, time out. I gotta stop this. Hold on. I want to see if I can go back. All right, I changed it. Seven 731-094 is our code. 731-094. Zane and Madden are in. We're gonna have 1 imposter because we just don't have enough people for 2 imposters. But we're only gonna be able to do 2 investigations. Everyone, Hayden is Big Cat, just so you know. We have Haley, we have Hayden, we have Madden, we have Zane. We still need Andrew and Nathan and Destiny. We got Destiny. We just need Nathan and Andrew. Where are you guys? Nathan? Interesting. All right. Where's Destiny now? Destiny, can you log back into GimKit, honey? Are you okay? Up, there we go. All right, I'm gonna start the game. Big Cat's inconclusive.
Aiden is inconclusive for me also.
Uh-oh. All right, I'll investigate him again. He just came back all clear. He's inconclusive again, Zane.
He's inconclusive again. Hayden is.
Calling a meeting. We're voting off BCAT, everybody. Start voting for BCAT. Come on, guys, get your votes in. Let's go. You need to vote, guys. I don't understand. Andrew, did you vote? Did you vote? You were the imposter. We knew it. Zane and I figured it out. All right. One more game and then that's it, okay? And then we'll end it. One more. Here we go. We don't have enough people, honey, for 2 imposters. Uh-oh, what happened to my GIM kit? Oh, here we go. Here we go, 296642. All right, we need Nathan and Destiny. I never get to be the imposter. No, she's not here. I know. I know. Waiting for Destiny and Nathan. Destiny's gone. All right, here we go. I'm a crewmate again. Haley's inconclusive. Nathan's inconclusive.
Miss Madden, you are inconclusive.
Well, you should investigate me again and again and again because I'm still a crewmate, honey. Zane is all clear. Nathan and Haley are sus. Nathan and Haley. Hayden, you're clear. Nathan is clear. So that leaves Haley, unless he used that button.
Who do I investigate, Miss Madden?
Haley just came back clear. I don't know if she and Nathan are using, one of them is, I think, the imposter, but I don't know which one because they're using that button.
All right, let me try Nathan.
Thank you. Destiny didn't start the game in time.
Okay, Nathan's here. It
Playing.
just pops up Nathan's here.
I don't know, guys, what do you think? Zane, what do you think?
Give me 1 second.
Nathan came back inconclusive again.
Haley just came inconclusive.
Oh, so it's again between the two of them.
What do you mean? I'm doing this on my school laptop. So my camera is off because I'm on the other page.
Miss Martin, do you have enough to investigate someone?
No, I don't know what's happening. I've answered so many questions correctly and it's not letting me investigate anymore. It says it's not available. What does that mean?
We can't investigate anymore. We're out.
Oh, no. All right. So who do you think it is? Do you think it's Haley or Nathan?
Hang on. Ann. Hang on a second.
I've been
Zane, do you think it's
investigated
Haley or
17
Nathan?
times. 17 times.
We can't investigate anymore. We're out. We can't.
We're
I got
out.
investigated so many times and you still don't trust me. Wow.
Who is
All right.
it? Is it
It's
Zane?
not Haley.
Nathan?
It's not Haley. It's not
All right,
Haley.
it's Nathan. Here we go. Vote off Nathan.
And if you're wrong, you're going to regret that. Trust me.
It's Nathan. Vote off Nathan.
It's not me. I was investigated 17 times. Watch and learn how you were incorrect. I dare you to. And if you're wrong, you are not allowed to vote me anymore. Watch and learn. And Nathan was not the imposter. It was Haley, as expected. I told you, and none of you ever trust me. Congratulations, everyone.
It was Haley. Hayden, you were right.
Do you guys trust me more, or you still don't trust me? Congratulations, Zane Cruz. You're not forgiven.
Good game, guys. Good game. No, Zane, it wasn't your fault. I thought it was Nathan also because he was so quiet the whole game. And Haley said, spoke up for herself and said no. She was playing it on her school laptop. So I thought for sure it was Nathan, but
Which I was.
you fooled us again, Haley. You fooled us yesterday and today.
I was playing on my school laptop. That's why my thing was.
So you were telling us the truth, but you were still the imposter. Good for you. All right, guys, great game. I'll see you all tomorrow morning at 8:15. Have a good night. Bye, everybody.